Are you stuck? What about unhappy? Join Alena Chapman, author, mentor, and life coach for 30-minute moments as she challenges you to get out of the doldrum and start living your life to the fullest. It's time to celebrate that life with 30-minute moments.
Hello, everyone. You're listening to 30-Minute Moments, and I'm your host, Alena Chapman. If you are someone who feels, mainly a woman, but also a guy who has been trying to raise his consciousness and isn't sure how, I'll tell you, if you're waking up not excited, if you are just not very thrilled with your work or your life, or you just feel like you're giving your power away to everyone, and you just don't know why or how, but you want to find out, or you just want to grow as a person, then I'm telling you, go to joinsavvysisterhood.com because it's free. And you go to Facebook and you sign up, and we're doing some really fun things. And the community is growing and thriving with supportive, loving people. Really, this is a really awesome program. It's free. You can't lose in this one. So go to Facebook, join. I'd love to see you there. I will approve you right into the group, and you can start growing. Now, let's get to our show. And I'll tell you what, everyone, I have such an incredible guest right now. This is a little bit different. We are delving into the world of a new wave. My guest, his name is Thomas McMurran. Now, we don't know him yet, but we should, because this man is evolutionary. Notice I said evolutionary. He's the author of Seventh Disruption. I love that title, which is a very good book. I've started reading it, which has been described as a masterpiece by CEOs, cryptocurrency gurus, all alike. Thomas calls himself a disruptionist. I love that. Quote, unquote, if an idea can topple a monarchy or an industry like banking, I'm all in. Yeah, very cool. The Seventh Disruption book is about positioning yourself in front of the next technological evolution and financially benefiting from the disruption. It's certain to bring about an evolution or evolving, moving towards something better. I love that. So why is Thomas McMurran the expert we can, that can write so eloquently and that we can trust? All about Bitcoin and this new wave that's coming in. And with that, I want to bring on Thomas McMurran. Hello.
Hey, how are you doing, Alena? Great to be on.
I am doing great. Now, I forgot something. You are called the Rosetta of Bitcoin, aren't you?
The Rosetta Stone, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess a way of translating it.
Yeah, it's very, very cool. And I want to start off because we're going to be talking about this new world, and it is a new world. It's kind of I used to call it the and excuse me for calling it this, the nerd's financial dome, because it's the technological, it seems to come out of technology, this new currency, basically.
Yeah, that was the birth of it. The people that were highly technical are the ones who really understood it in the beginning, and it was that way. A lot of people, when they first see Bitcoin, they think it's some type of currency used for Farmville. It's not real money, but it definitely is.
Boy, is it ever, especially when you lose it. But let's talk about, would you describe this world a little bit? Because for a lot of people, let's put it this way. I heard about cryptocurrency currency, and I was at a place where there were like 3 different people. And then my best friend was telling me, you got to get in on this one. You got to get in on that one. Was actually very good. I'm making a lot of money in that. But I'll tell you what, my boys who are usually really up on all this new stuff and really into technology, they were saying, Mom, stay out, stay out. A lot of apprehension is about this. Can you describe it and kind of calm the fears of this apprehension?
Well, Bitcoin it's an easy-to-use, secure digital currency. And those that understand the underlying technology, which is a technology called blockchain technology, they trust it because they know about the cryptography that goes into blockchain. It's kind of like, I use the analogy, most people use the internet every day. And remember, in the 90s, people were saying stay out of the internet, too.
Yes, they were.
You have your naysayers in every technological revolution.
Yeah.
But, when you look at the internet, most people don't know who Tim Berners-Lee is. I ask that to every crowd that I'm in front of, and nobody raises their hand. I mean, he's the guy that introduced the underlying technology that makes the internet possible. Without TCP/IP, there is no internet. And the same is true for blockchain technology, which is the underlying technology that makes Bitcoin work. And when you get to understand the actual foundation of how the technology works, you go, wow, this is going to be big. I mean, this is going to disrupt any industry that needs an intermediary to create trust between two parties. And obviously the first one we're seeing is Bitcoin, where I'm capable of transferring value to you without using a financial intermediary. And that's very attractive to some people, especially people that don't care to deal much with banks.
Well, true. And I can say I'm one of those people. Just because I've seen, number one, it's been harder to get your own money out of the bank.
You got that right. Yeah. You put it in there and it's like all of a sudden it's theirs. It's not yours.
Yes. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. I've seen that happen in the last 4 years, and I'm like, seriously? Yeah. So that's what spurred me into this and learning more about it. Okay. It is. Now, what's the new big wave, though? Because you talk about a new big wave. What do you mean by that?
Well, blockchain technology is going, like I said, it's going to disrupt any industry that requires an intermediary that creates trust between two parties. Like Uber is an intermediary. It creates trust between a driver, and a rider. So any industry that has that intermediary, it's going to be disruptive. The basis of my book, The Seventh Disruption, walked people through the iterations of the internet. Email was the first killer app. Well, email is synonymous with Bitcoin. Transferring money between each other is the email of digital currency.
Right.
The only difference is we can send email to each other now with money attached, which is kind of cool. Unduplicatable, undefraudable money. But, as we watch the iterations come through this big wave, is the idea of taking ownership back of our data and being able to profit from our own data. And we're seeing European Union take steps in that right now by letting everybody know the information they put into these websites is theirs, not the company's.
Very, very interesting. Okay, so if somebody wanted to get involved in this more, what would be the best way for them to learn about it? Well, and read your book, number one, but also play with it, because experience, you really have to experience it, I think. Don't you agree?
Oh, yeah. Experience is much better than explanation. When we do our events, I have people come to the room. I have download an app called Blockchain. It's out of Luxembourg. It's basically a Bitcoin wallet, and I transfer money to them right on the spot. And people are just amazed at how easy it is. In the U.S., most people will probably set up a Coinbase account. They'll go to Coinbase.com. Funny statistic about Coinbase, they acquired more customers in 36 months than Charles Schwab did in 30 years.
Amazing.
The online brokerage company. So there's a massive movement of people going into the space. And
the world is waiting for it.
Coinbase account, I'd go buy, $100 worth of Bitcoin and maybe go to a website called GYFT.com and buy a gift card and actually shop with it. In Atlanta, we've got 100 ATM machines.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah, well, actually, there's more than that. It's about 175, but there's one company that has 100.
So, because I know out there are so many different cryptocurrencies. There are so many, and they're all doing, because I've kind of looked around, and it's just, you have to be careful, though. And how do you know what is a good one and what is not a good one?
Well, diversification is the only way you reduce risk. And my strategy is, I put money in the top 10 biggest cryptocurrencies just as let's just say hypothetically, I put 70% of my money in the top 10, and then the other 30% of my money that's allocated for cryptocurrencies. I've, just kind of looked at the other top 90 and read their white papers and watched the news, and I read CoinDesk and kind of see which ones are the up and coming ones. But for a cryptocurrency to be valuable, it's got to be usable. And so if they really don't have a use case scenario where you can actually use it or earn it and be able to spend it, I don't know how long it's going to last.
I see.
That's what I look for, is how do I earn it and how do I spend it?
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of stocks.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, very much so.
And
they trade a lot like stocks. That's how the value is determined, is by public auction.
And when you say the top 10, I'm thinking of the top 10 stocks that are going to be safe. You get an investment, you get you get money back, but it's slower and longer. And then you're talking about the higher risk for the other ones, where you go out and you look and you really do your research. And that money, if you lose it, it's expendable.
And the 30% probably will outproduce the other 70%.
Yes.
If you allocated, like if you said, hey, I've got $100,000 and you put 7,000 in the top 10, and then you took, say, 1,000 and you put it in the other 30, and you just let them sit there, 90% of those 30 are going to go out of business. But like last year, if you would have put $100 in IOTA, you would have made $500,000.
Amazing.
If you would have put $100 in Tron, you would have made $500,000. I mean, there were some high flyers last year for sure.
Yeah, and it really is getting in early.
There'll be a lot more coming.
Yeah, I think so too. And it's getting in early too. It's watching and getting in early.
The institutional money's not even in this space yet, just because there's no real clearly defined regulation in the United States yet. But when there is clearly defined regulation, Katie barred the doors. I mean, the institutional money is going to come pouring into the cryptocurrency market. Amazing.
Okay, folks, this is a wonderful topic. And for those of us who are looking for multiple streams of income or anything else, just trying to make money from other areas, this is really a good show. So we will be back really soon with Thomas McMurran.
You're listening to 30-Minute Moments with Alena Chapman, helping you discover your true purpose on WOWO and at WOWO.com.
Welcome back. Guys, this is so interesting. And I'll tell you what, learning this new wave, because I'm telling you, it's going to happen. I have Thomas McMurran here, and we are talking about this new wave of financial living. And it truly is a new financial way of living. And just, think when the stock market came, that was like a new thing that people didn't trust. They called it gambling. We're always evolving, and it's time for us to evolve. So I have Thomas McMurran here. We're going to talk, but I want to bring something up because, it's a good thing. It's a good thing in some ways. You are this person who disrupts. And I can say that with the fondness in my heart because I'm one of those people too. And it's just someone who shakes it up, the movers and the shakers, the people that venture into new territories. And every time we venture, Edison was all our major people in the world. Edison, Carnegie, Walt Disney, these people were disruptors. They were people who had a dream or saw into the future and disrupted movement. And right now, Thomas, you are that person. Well, one of those people, one of the people venturing into this new world of finance. But as a disruptor person,
sometimes you get disrupted yourself.
Yes, sometimes you get disrupted yourself. And there are a lot of naysayers who say, wait a minute, and they call the halt on it. And you actually had this happen.
Yeah.
You want to tell people, because everybody wants to ride the front line, but, sometimes we do.
It comes with risk.
It comes with risk.
I tell everybody the prerequisite of wealth is risk. And I've been a lifelong entrepreneur. I've taken risks. I've ridden the wave of the internet for almost 20 years. And as I tell people, I've had some pretty phenomenal wipeouts as well.
Sure.
I talk about fifth chances, when I'm talking, with people about, your opportunity to recover from wipeouts. In the 90s, we raised tons of money for the internet. We partied like rock stars thinking it would never end. And it came with a massive wipeout. And I ended up with a 153-count federal indictment facing 25 years to life in prison. And that was a massive wake-up call for me. 6 years before that, I faced cancer and beat that. And you would think kind of your ego after that, it's like, well, I beat cancer. I guess I'm even more invincible. But, going through that experience, I prayed for a miracle. I ended up doing 87 months, invested in myself by reading over 400 books. And today I read a chapter a day. I finish 30 books a year, and it's probably one of the best success techniques I've ever adopted.
It is.
You never run out of ideas if you feed the supercomputer between your ears. But when I was in prison, I heard a quote by Warren Buffett, and he says, it takes brains, energy, and integrity to be successful. But without the last one, the first two can get you in a hell of a lot of trouble.
Isn't that the truth?
I always laughed when I heard that quote because it's very true. And really what I lacked in my younger years, which I think most people do, is, when you're at 30 years old and you're worth $80 million on paper and, everybody, is throwing money at you, you just think you're invincible. But you don't have that self-awareness that a 40 or year old or a 60-year-old business person does. And if you make mistakes, they can cost you, like they did me. It cost me about 5 years of my life, 5.5 years of my life, plus another 5 years on probation. So it was almost an entire decade of government supervision that I had to go under.
And that's hard.
I learned something very important, and I saw
what
this
did you
on
learn?
your website, and I smiled when I saw your quote. I tell people you don't have to be behind bars to be in prison.
Oh, isn't that the truth?
People deal with addiction. They deal with abuse.
Yes.
They deal with just failure and lack of self-esteem, and those can be some of the worst prisons of all.
I think they are worse than being in prison, if you really want to ask, if you ask me, because you not only can't escape, but you never know how long the prison sentence is. You know, and you can't be really a disruptor person is really a radical. And I always and I'm a radical. I'm proud to say I'm a radical. It's a person who thinks outside the box. It's a person who looks for something better.
I add one for you.
Yes.
There's the people that are in the box. There's people that think outside the box, and then there's supra thinkers.
Oh, I love it.
Supra means Latin is beyond the box. So sometimes people are even. There's a quote that says, "If you're one step ahead of everybody, they think you're a genius. But if you're 2 steps ahead of everybody, they think you're freaking crazy." The last 2 years, we've been kind of 2 steps ahead of everybody else, and they've been like, "Oh, well, cryptocurrency is used for terrorism." I'm like, "Well, so's the U.S. dollar." But you never hear that in the news. The states that adopt crypto, and the countries like Japan and Australia that have adopted cryptocurrency.
I know.
It's actually not a great place to do crime on, because it's all trackable. And that's what makes me laugh, is when you hear the media talk about, this was used for that. And it's like, well, that wasn't very smart, because it can be traced. It's extremely traceable.
Yes.
But
yes.
I don't know. Good. But yeah, my experience with prison, I learned something very important. And I had a guy that I met in prison, and he had 500 books memorized in his mind. And he could quote from any of the Harvard Classic Library books. He could read a book in an hour. He was unbelievable. But he looked at me one day, and he kind of laughed at me, because he realized how immature I was and how I lacked self-awareness. And he said, "My son, what is the absolute source of power?" And it's like he threw out this cone to me, this question, this unanswerable question that, you think, energy, politics, money, God. You could put all these labels on it. Right. And what I came to the conclusion of at the end was just kind of my epiphany, was the ability to silence the mind is probably one of the greatest absolute sources of power that I've found.
It
That
is.
may be true for other people, it may not be, but the ability to bring the waves of the ocean back to the surface and look into your soul and see who you are as a person, or to look at the eyes of God inside of you, or whatever whatever you want to label. That was something I walked away with. I actually gained a great deal of peace in prison. I like to tell people I left my immature ego and my ignorance hopefully behind the fence. So hopefully it's still trapped in prison.
You are listening to Thomas McMurran, and I'm your host, Alena Chapman. This is 30-Minute Moments. Fabulous, fabulous interview. Come right back.
This is 30-Minute Moments with Alena Chapman, helping you find your inner self every Sunday on WOWO and at WOWO.com.
Do you want to be a part of a group that gets things done and stays in touch? Or perhaps you're not being who you truly want to be. Maybe you're relying on someone else to make you happy. It's time to expand your personal growth and take back your power. Join Savvy Sisterhood by Alena Chapman. The ladies meet on Facebook every Monday at 7 p.m. It'll be your first step to your personal growth. Join the group, and the best part is, it's absolutely free. Savvy Sisterhood by Alena Chapman. Find it on Facebook and get ready to take back your power.
Welcome back. Now, listen, we're supposed to have the shift now. And I even was going to make up a song. I'll do that for you next week. We kind of did a shift because Thomas Moran, his story was incredible. But what I want to do is I want to bring back a new little segment of this new wave, this new world that's coming. Because I think if you can see that new world, you'll see where you can fit in and start to learn more about this. Because I really do think this is growing and growing and growing. Where it's going to go, who knows? But I think it's not going to go away. Do you agree with me, Thomas?
Oh, I do. I mean, it's saying cryptocurrency or blockchain technology is going to be going away is like saying the internet was going to go away in 1994.
Oh, people did say that. You know that? They all said, this is temporary. No.
They said, I'll never put my credit card in. I'll never do this. I'll never do that. I've learned never say never.
We kind of tapped on it a little bit about how we can buy things on it, but I mean there are missions. You even have the wealth care, health care mission.
Yes.
Now let's talk a little bit about that and brave it into how there's new worlds opening up on the internet that is this cryptocurrency. Okay, so
it's cryptocurrency is a unit of value, and so when you think of exchanging energy for value, that's really what money's about. A lot of people don't understand the term mining coins. And I said, well, mining coins, you mine a paycheck every week. If you go to work every week, you exchange energy for value. And that, when you think about the basis of transactions and value, that's really where it begins. There has to be an exchange of energy for value.
Yes. And
I started a company called CoinMD mainly because my wife and I mean, she's a physical therapist. I come from a medical family, and our cost of our health insurance is just ridiculous. It's more than a mortgage payment.
I know.
And I thought, if Bitcoin's been this successful, why can't we have people earn, say, a new coin that's designed for healthcare, where they can earn that coin through health care-related activities, or wearing, say, our CMDX Fit, which is like a Fitbit that you can wear and earn coins for exercising, and I could reinforce positive lifestyle habits. And so,
I like this. I think it's
really going to flourish. I think it's going to flourish in the rewards and loyalty points area, because that's really what it is. We have a healthcare marketplace, it's like an Amazon-style marketplace.
Okay.
And through health-related activities, you earn your coins, and you can go spend them on our healthcare marketplace, and that's called CoinMD Choice. And our goal is we want to give you choice. So when you actually join and become a member, I like to tell people we're an AARP, we're a membership organization, if you will.
Okay.
People join our company because they want benefits that we offer, very similar to the reason why people join AARP. But the idea is that we also want you to bring your favorite healthcare providers. You may have and when we talk about healthcare, we just don't mean doctors. We mean natural food stores, mountain biking stores. We have a daycare on our platform. They don't serve sugar to the children, which I think is brilliant.
That is brilliant. Yes.
Just things like that. I think the more of our healthcare marketplace in the beginning will be focused on what I call health assurance, not health insurance. It's like I'm doing the things to prevent having to go to sick care.
Right.
And so that's our goal, is to actually get people living a healthier, wealthier, and happier lifestyle through activities, and then rewarding them with coins, to do that they can spend to reduce their overall healthcare cost burden. But it costs like $300 more a month to live a healthy lifestyle than it does to live one off the dollar menu at the fast food restaurant.
Well, yes, but now, and I know people are saying, ooh, $300, but let's think about this. It might cost $300 more, but one trip to the doctor because of something major far exceeds any of that. Yeah. Yeah, then you're in bankruptcy. So would I rather pay for the preventative and buy the organics and do the healthy thing and maybe skip the fast food but or choose healthy choices and take care of myself, pay a little more, and not have to go to the hospital for the big giant things and not have to pay the giant bills.
That's the idea. And then, if you could acquire like our cryptocurrency, it's like a half a penny right now. Let's say you do acquire some through health-related activities, and it does go up in value. It actually allows your spending power to go farther. If you would have bought $1,000 worth of Bitcoin in 2009 as a hedge against your retirement, you'd have $75 million today.
That's right.
You probably wouldn't care what your health care costs, but most people didn't buy $1,000 worth of Bitcoin, so we've got to start over and start somewhere. But CoinMD is built on the same technology that made Bitcoin so successful. And we've got members in 19 different countries, and the vision that I have for it is in 3 to 5 years, you'll be able to type in knee surgery, like you asked, and you'll see options in Mumbai, Phu Phuoc, Vietnam, London, United States. you'll see options that you have all over the world, because health tourism, people actually do travel to other countries to get health care because it is a lot cheaper than it is here in the United States.
Oh, I know. It's all over Facebook. There's this little girl going, I get my teeth done in Egypt, and I get my, it's all over. And she's really hitting it big, and they're putting prices of things. And they're taking away the belief that these other countries don't have as good health care as we do. That's what they're doing. So yes, and this CoinMD, even I'm interested in that. I think that's very cool. Thomas,
it's been a fun business. We've attracted a great group of people, and it's a health-minded group that are interested, like I said, in living a healthier, wealthier, and happier lifestyle. And so people can get in and they can promote our memberships, and they can actually earn coins doing that as well. So we reward people for a lot of different activities with coins, and like I said, they can use those coins to offset the cost of living a healthy lifestyle.
I love that. I love it. I'm very interested. Thomas, you have been fabulous. I thank you so much for coming on the show. All right, so people can go to CoinMD, but what if they want to learn more about your book or you? Where can they go?
Sure. Well, the book is, I get a free copy for your listeners. It's at seventhDisruption.com. So that's number 7THDisruption.com. They can go there and just download it. It's a PDF. And if they're learning more about CoinMD, they can go to coinmd.co. And there's an 8-minute video that'll talk about what CoinMD is, and our white papers are on there. And we have 13 live webinars a week, so if they want to meet some of our members from around the world, we have 100 to 200 people on all of our webinars. So it's kind of cool to meet people all around the world that all share. It's a global epidemic, healthcare is. It's not just limited to the United States.
No, I really know that. Oh, fabulous. All right, everyone. So I hope you got that. You can go to seventhDisruption.com, and he is giving you a free PDF book. This is fantastic. And it explains all about this. And then if you want to learn more about coinmd.co, that's for the healthcare. So this is very cool. And if you want to learn more about your host, Alena Chapman, you can go to alenachapmanlife.com. And actually, we're getting that website really going. I'd love to hear what you think. And so that is good. And also, don't forget the book, The Prison Effect. I am giving free copies away, and that is actually the hard copy, not the PDF, because we're doing it at the radio station. Text the word book to 46862. Again, 46862. Text that word book. All right. We're always trying to bring you more ease, more peace, and more abundance in your life. This is 30-Minute Moments, and this is Alena Chapman. Have a fabulous day.
This has been 30-Minute Moments featuring Alena Chapman. If you missed an episode, download it now at wowo.com.
Podcasts by Federated Media.